Hello and welcome to Learn Data. It's great to have you on this channel. I'm Nilesh, and in this video, we'll take a detour from unsupervised learning and talk about toy datasets. In toy datasets, these are the datasets that will just look at an overview of what's in these datasets and how many rows are there, how many classes are there if it's a classification dataset. So we look at Boston, Iris, diabetes, digits, Linnerud, wine, and the breast cancer datasets. So for the Boston dataset, this is what the dataset looks like. We have uh, the features that are related to the houses located in the Boston area in the US, and here we have the target variable, which is floats, and that's the median value of a household. And so generally the dataset is used to predict what the value of a house is based on these features or attributes that are listed here. And in this particular dataset, there are about 506 records or rows or instances or samples, and there are 13 total features that are listed here. Next, this is the dataset for iris plants, and this is again a famous dataset. We have a picture of the plant iris flower shown here. So the petal is the petal part, and the sepal, believe, is the part below the petal. And here we have the sepal length, sepal width, so that would be the green part, and then we have the petal length and petal width, that's the blue part, for three different types of iris flowers, and each of these are numerically coded for class, so 0, 1, and 2, and those would be here. So this is showing up as floats because I converted them and put them in a data frame. So that's why it's showing up as floats here. So here we have 150 total number of records. So each class has 50 records or 50 instances or samples, and we have four features. So these four features are listed here, and this is a toy data set that we can use for uh, creating models for classification. Then this is diabetes dataset, and here you'll see that these numbers are floats, and that's because the data is mean centered and scaled. So here this dataset has about 442 records, and there are 10 features. Those are listed here, and the target variable again is numeric and floats. So this can be used for regression type of modeling. Moving on, for the handwritten digits dataset, this dataset consists of images of handwritten digits from 0 to 9, and here this slide shows one digit, which is a 0, uh, that is 8 by 8 pixels. You have 8 pixels along the horizontal axis and 8 pixels down the vertical axis, so there are a total of 64 pixels that are listed here. And so each of these images represents a row in this particular data set, and the target is of course what that image is about. So the first image, which is this first row, is target 0, and here if you convert this array and put it in a data frame form such as shown here, so we have 0 0 0 1. So all these are showing the pixel intensities up to uh, the for first 8 rows, or for first 8 column, first row all 8 columns, and then again you start from the second row and go up to the all 8 columns, and so on for the others. So here is a magnified image of that. The pixel 00 is this one, that's a black pixel, and so we have a grayscale value of 0. Same here, and then as we continue to increase the brightness, the values increase a little bit and then again go back down to 0, because the value of the pixel grayscale value is 0. So that's the that's a toy dataset that can be used for classification tasks. Now there is this another dataset which is a Linnerud dataset, which is a multi-output regression. And in this dataset, we have just three features, but then we have three targets as shown here. So we have uh, different types of exercises, and then target is different types of physiological values measured for each person. There are 20 records in this particular dataset. Moving on, we have another dataset which is the wine recognition dataset. So here there are 178 records and there are 13 features. So each feature such as the alcohol, malic acid, ash content, etc., flavonoids, uh, each of these row describes a particular type of wine. And here we have three different classes, 0, 1, and 2. So again, these are floats because I converted them to a data frame. There would be integers here, and so 0 would represent a one class of wine, then 1 and 2 would represent the other two classes of wine that are described by these features. So this again would be a classification data set. And finally, we have the breast cancer dataset, which has 569 records and there are 30 features. Some of those features are shown here. We have the mean radius, uh, uh, mean texture, mean parameter. This would be pertaining to the tissue that is being analyzed uh, to check if that cells in that tissue are either malignant or benign. And here we have the target class, that is 0 or 1, for 0 for malignant and benign for 1. So this would again be a classification dataset. Now, to use all these datasets, it's pretty simple and straightforward in Scikit-learn. There are two options by which we can load these datasets. So first we need to import the library from sklearn import datasets, and then the first option is we can write data is equal to datasets.load underscore Boston. And uh, if we are using say digits dataset, then we'll just simply replace this by load underscore digits, and so on for the rest of the datasets. And if we then print data.descr, it gives uh, the entire description of what the dataset consists of, what are the columns, the descriptions of those columns, the references, source of that data, all the details. Now, most of the time, you'll probably need just the x and y values from those. So you could also get that data by typing datasets.load underscore Boston, return underscore capital X underscore small y is equal to true. This returns the data in as an array in X and target as an array in Y. So that's the option 2. If you were to use the option 1, then to get the X and Y, you would simply say data.data, that will give the X value. And if you specify data.target, then it will give the Y value. So that was it for this video. This was a short video. I hope in this video you got an intuition about what are different types of toy datasets available in Scikit-learn for practice. In next video, we'll look at some few additional datasets that are there. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.